Hi, my name is Electra. You have not seen me for a couple of years now. Oops. Cheers to that. It's tea, by the way. Black tea with passion fruit and apple and some almond milk. So, what has happened all those years? You might wonder. Well, as all of us know, pandemic. Then on a personal level, I got pregnant, I got married, I had my baby daughter, I bought a house, and now I'm getting a divorce. Yay! Now that that's out of the way, I'm thinking of doing the Booktube Newbie Tag to sort of start things over in this channel and, get to know me a little bit. So question 1, why did you start this channel? To talk about books. I love reading books, I love talking about books, I love recommending books, buying books, going to the library, researching, you name it. Anything book related, I love. And I would like to share this excitement with you on this channel because I feel the need to do that again. I do have an online presence already. I've had a public bookstagram for 4 years now. However, it was hacked recently. Of course it was. What a year 2022. Oh well. Question 2. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? I haven't thought about any of the questions. I wanted to be sort of spontaneous answers on all of these, so I didn't prepare. But the thing that comes to mind is that I live in Scandinavia and I really love watching vlogs. So I'm thinking of perhaps showing you where I live, the cafes, the country in general and the nature through vlogs and me reading, and perhaps introduce you to some Scandinavian authors you might be interested in looking into. Question 3, but what are you most excited for about this new channel? Friends, book friends, so we can talk all day long about about books, about everything. What I'm looking forward to, or what I'm envisioning that I would want to achieve, is maybe better phrasing, is to create a little community on the internet to sort of, read together and find people with similar books that we love, expand our horizons with, those kinds of things. Question 4, why do you love reading? Escapism, for one. That's a big one, I would say, especially during this time period in my life. But also to learn, to diversify my reading choices as of late, because I feel like I was stuck for a while in certain genres, certain author styles, certain tropes. So I like that we have so many options when it comes to books. And it's one of my favorite hobbies. It always has been. Moving on to question 5. What book or series got you into reading? I have made a video about this, sort of a Roald Dahl tribute video. And there I mentioned that my first sort of big book that I remember reading is James and the Giant Peach by Roald Dahl. And then I just started reading everything I could lay my hands on by him. And of course I discovered more and more and more children's books, teenage books, and so on. And I did have a reading break sort of in my late teens, early 20s. I think a lot of people do, because so much is happening in our lives around that time, like for a lot of people. But I'm happy I fell back in love with reading. And now I read so much again, and makes me happy. Question 6. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? Well, my favorite booktuber as of late is Lena Norms, who not only talks about books but about climate and politics and so much. I enjoy watching Emily Fox, that we have a lot of similar tastes in books, as well as Books with Lala. With her, I discovered my passion for weird books. It all started with Wilder Girls by Rory Power, and then it just... The question I would ask, I think all of them, is what kind of book they return to and reread, if they do reread, and what would encapsulate sort of their reading journey. I think that would be my question to all three of them. Question 7. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Time. I'm a single mom. I'm a full-time master's student in plant science. I'm looking for a job. So time. Definitely time. Did I say time? Time. Question 8. When did you start reading? Since I could read. I mean, I could read books since I remember myself being able to put words together in a sentence and, read it cohesively. Definitely. So 4, something like that. It's whatever my parents tell me, so I'm unsure, but around that age. Question 9. Where do you read? Everywhere. In all the rooms in the house, in all forms, like Kindle, audio, physical. I read while commuting. My bike was stolen, but when I was using my bike, I was listening to audiobooks and podcasts about books. Everywhere. Depending on the time of day, depending on what I'm doing, but everywhere. And final question 10. What kind of books do you like to read? So I actually checked today my stats on Storygraph from this year, where so far I've read 9 books in total. And the 2 genres that are overwhelmingly chosen by me is literary fiction and science fiction. And that was the case also for last year. I do read a lot of queer tropes books as well as fantasy, nonfiction. I sort of dabble into a lot of genres, maybe not as much horror, but that is changing as of late as well. And I don't tend to go for historical fiction, but otherwise, science fiction, fantasy, literary fiction, yes to all of that. I like that I have managed to do that because I was initially just a fantasy reader, and that was it. And some nonfiction, for topics I was interested in. But I like that I have diversified my reading tastes. And I mostly like that because of that, I discovered my love for sci-fi. And Becky Chambers, who is my favorite author of all time. Dare I say. Yes, she writes queer sci-fi. She's self-categorized, or someone said at some point in a comment that she writes hope punk. And she just took that and just embraced it. She saw it as well. And said, yes, that's what I'm writing. That's the genre I'm going for. And I love her, and you should pick her up. Please pick her books up. They're just amazing characters. Don't be afraid of sci-fi. Please, if I could achieve one thing with this channel, is this. For people not to be afraid of sci-fi. It's sad because there's so many good books out there, especially as of late. Yeah, so that was all I think for this first video, not to overwhelm you or me for now, and I'll see you in the next one.